In the contracting firm, it is more predominant. Whenever there is any accident, the safety officer is responsible. Am I correct? Responsible, yes. They are giving warning. Yes. That is a wrong management, or that is a bad management. And we say we are good contractors doing wrong management. It is only the responsibility of the site in charge. Safety officer's ka job, it is defined under this act. What exactly you are required to do in charge. Safety officer will make a sample survey to identify whether the line managers are doing work safely or not. But contrary to this, now safety officers are moving and finding out fault. It is quite difficult. It is just like, suppose there is a police station in my jurisdiction. Does this mean that I will open my door and sleep at night? Why shall I shut up my door when police is being paid by government? Just like that, you have to keep your equipment, plant in order safely is your responsibility. वो police station का OIC का responsibility नहीं है. He will come sometimes and check why it is not there. Ask you question. The principle must go accordingly. Otherwise, 25 safety officers cannot handle the 25,000 people. On sir bad condition अगर देखेंगे, it's not possible. Even for the contracting agencies. If the site in charge of any contracting agency is available, please keep it in mind that you are responsible for the safety of your site. And safety officer is only there to guide you how to overcome that problem, how to make the system safe. That is what his job. If you look into the definition under the Act, the job of a safety officer is to advise the management that what is to be done. That's why I have told safety is a line function. Never bypass safety. Otherwise, you will be put into problem. Next. Which is best? Gote tip way. Correct. Safety first. Whether everybody agrees? Yes. Then say loudly yes.
Yes, sir.
Then everybody agrees. Next. Production with safety.
Yes. Yes.
First one is correct or second one?
Second one.
No, still there is
Second one is.
If anybody is saying first one is correct, please take it that is incorrect. Not at all true.
So both are correct.
So second one is correct. First one is also not wrong. But thing is, the first that we are telling you, which was final, has now become semi-final because final is now production with
If I
safety.
sit here, I am most safe. I will not go to site. I am safe here because that is first.
The job of a factory is to produce. If there is no production,
Then
safety is not required also. Safety is required if there is production. So production with safety is better option than safety first. Next, safe production. Which one is best? So what we want to say is now time has come to back to basics. Because whatever we see it is good. Next. What is safety policy? Safety policy कौन? Can anybody say?
Written document committed by the management towards the safety and take it as an objective of the site or company towards the workers and towards the staff.
Very good. The first two was good. Don't extend it. If you extend, it will again problem. Only gives the management intention towards safety. Now, in that policy, under the statutory provision of law, there are certain guidelines. What is whose job? So that is, so the safety officer from different organizations, they come and say, sir, give us a policy, we will copy and paste.
But it is a management's commitment. They, by this way, they commit themselves that what we will implement, what we will do, and what is the procedures down below. We have to define that.
So I have seen the many occupiers of a factory, they have signed the safety policies and they just do what is the reverse of what is written. When we ask, "जे साहब आपने वो साइन किए हैं?" ना, वो मैं साइन किया. So later on it was understood, नहीं वो सेफ्टी ऑफिसर वो क्या किया, किसी एक कॉपी लाया, बोला इसमें साइन करो नहीं तो रजिस्ट्रेशन नहीं होगा, इसीलिए मैं कर दिया, बिकॉज दैट इज द सेफ्टी पॉलिसी सोचा. So what is required is now to copy it from other organization and to get it signed is also not a safety policy. Please have a system that what exactly you really do should be the policy, and what are the contents in the policy, these are required to be implemented at site. If you cannot implement, don't put it in policy. Nobody asks you to do it. But the basic intention is you must see that your working environment should be free from risk and hazard. That is what is the under statutory provision of law. But what exactly you will do, some organization can do still better, some can do less. But the basic thing is we should provide a safe working environment. Next, distribution of responsibilities at various levels. That is more important. So everybody should be responsible for the cause of safety at different levels. One assistant manager is responsible for something, one deputy manager is responsible for something, one supervisor is responsible for something. Now tell me, who is a supervisor? Any contracting agency, do you have any system of recruiting supervisors? Huh? Achi?
Directly involved with job, sir. Directly involved with supervisor.
Directly involved is supervisor.
Directly जॉब में इन्वॉल्व हो रहा ना सर,
वो सुपरवाइजर है. जो डायरेक्टली नहीं इन्वॉल्व होता है वो सुपरवाइजर नहीं है. वर्कर डायरेक्टली इन्वॉल्व नहीं होता है,
मॉनिटर कर रहा ना सर, वर्कर
मॉनिटर. यू टेल मी, डू यू हैव ए सिस्टम और रिक्रूटमेंट ऑफ ए सुपरवाइजर? मीन्स उसका क्वालिफिकेशन क्या होना चाहिए, एक्सपीरियंस क्या होना चाहिए, एज क्या होना चाहिए, व्हाट वर्क ही इज रिक्वायर्ड टू नो, उसका नॉलेज कितना होना चाहिए, ऐसा कुछ एक सिस्टम है क्या? Don't give a theoretical answer to a practical question. Why I am telling you? Because whenever we inquire, that we find that everybody engages a supervisor, and the age of the supervisor is 25 years. He gets 2,500 salary, and his supervisor is a welder whose age is 50 years, gets 5,000 salary. And you say he is a supervisor and he doesn't know anything about welding?
It's not possible.
Huh?
Not possible.
Not possible is called impossible. Impossible actually say I am possible. So what I want to say, that everything is possible, but you have to see the things in the mind. The point of interest is there is a definition of supervisor, there is a qualification of supervisor under the statutory provision of law. There is a model factory rules framed by Director General Factory Advice Service, Government of India. They say for a industry involving hazardous process like yours in this sphere, the qualification of a supervisor should be minimum science graduate, preferably with chemistry honors, and having minimum 5 years of relevant experience for which he is engaged as a supervisor. I repeat, the qualification of a supervisor should be a science graduate, preferably with chemistry honors, with minimum 5 years working experience on the relevant field for which he is appointed as a supervisor. एक सुपरवाइजर आपने रखा हाइट वर्क को सुपरवाइज करने के लिए, वो साइंस ग्रेजुएट केमिस्ट्री ऑनर वो होगा, उसके बाद 5 साल का हाइट में काम करने का एक्सपीरियंस होगा, देन ओनली ही विल बी सुपरवाइजर, so that he can understand that what are the hazards associated with that work, then only he will supervise, otherwise not. But this is terribly missing with all contracting firms, but your reputation still goes, we are number one of the best contracting firm in India. So if you don't abide to the rules, cannot stick to the provisions of rules, how can you be one of the best? So I hope from tomorrow or today onward, please each and every contracting firm must give like this, what are the sites on which they are working, Suppose SR projects, they are working in 10 sites in JSPR. In each site, they will give the name of a supervisor, and he must be a science graduate with chemistry honors, with minimum 5 years of working experience on the field for which they are engaged as a supervisor. That will be evaluated by the safety department of JSPR, and a report must be sent to us within 15 days. Possible?
Give us 21 days. Give us 21 days.
21 days. 3 weeks. ठीक है, 1 month दे दिया.
We'll
It
get it.
is better to be late than never.
We'll do it.
That proverb is better.
We'll do it.
So आप इसी हिसाब से कीजिए. What I want to say is, each contracting agency, they will give in detail in writing that in what are the various sites they are working, and they have to give the name of a supervisor who will qualify this. Model rule का एक copy you can distribute to them. Let them know this must be again put as a annexure to their agreement. Otherwise things will not improve. Merely taking that you do this, भागवत खाली वाणी सुनाने से कुछ काम नहीं होगा. Let us be very practical. You have to abide the rules and regulations. You have to give respect to the law of the land. And when there is a law of this nature, even not incorporating this law in the contract is a violation caused by the management. We should not be that flexible or to the contracting firms, and contracting firm has got a legal responsibility, liability on their part to appoint adequate supervisors of this nature. And once it is done, you will find it will improve. Okay, so that is what is called distribution of responsibility. आपनकर एटी सुपरवाइजर ने किए अछंती कि एटी supervisor can is anybody is a supervisor of any contracting firm can say boldly yes, then I will say he is safe. And if anybody is fortunately available and not raising his voice, he is definitely a unsafe supervisor.
Come out.
As available, please keep this in mind. Next, what is organized for safety, control for safety? What is plan for safety? There was a story like this. There was a demon, and there was a small in the village. They were coming, and every day he was taking one man for his breakfast. So one day the turn of a small boy. So he found that a strong and stout young man is crying. Then he asked him, why you are crying? Now today my term has come. Today that demon will make me his breakfast. So he told, okay, then you remain today, I am going today. Then they told he is too big. How can you face him? Then he answered that he is too big to miss. Suppose you are having a big thing, it is very difficult to miss. But if it is a small one, it is difficult to miss. You see, that is the attitude. He told that he is too big to miss. Similarly, we say there are a lot of things which is not possible. But if you can plan for it, definitely it can be achieved. This planning will start from this. You have to understand that failure may occur. You have to find out why there is failure, what may be the failures, what are the different modes of failure, you have to understand. Then you have to find out if that is a mode of failure, so how can you prevent it, what action we will take. Like this, if you will go serially in a planned way, definitely you will improve. And you have to also find out the hurdles behind it. Because one of the football team members, they plan that one will give ball to 2, 2 will give to 4, 4 will give to 3, like this, and they thought in 2 minutes they will give 1 goal. So total time is 15 minutes, they told we will give 25 goals. Short is 20%, so at least 20 goals देंगे. When the match is over, they got 5 goals. कुछ नहीं दे पाया. So there was a failure in their planning because they had not thought of the opposition player. Opposite player के बारे में सोचा नहीं था. So what we are doing is we are now planning for safety. It is not that we are not planning. We are taking oath. We are giving pep talks. We are giving medical examination. We are giving your induction training. This is all planning for safety. But opposition के बारे में हम सोचते नहीं है. In spite of that, the person will make a mistake. As सुबह somebody was telling, suppose everything is there, a person is trained, educated, everything क्या, but he will commit mistake. Committing mistake is also a problem that you should think of. A person may commit mistake because we have not taken engineers with us. We have taken contract level. उनका education level भी कम है. We are teaching. Teaching does not mean only to speak. The basic concept of teaching is what you speak, the person must understand. If he cannot understand, your teaching is bad, even if you speak the best thing. So, teaching will be evaluated the way the learner or the receiver receives it. That is called teaching. Once you speak, is not teaching. Similarly, what you plan is not safety. It must be executed by the people down below. That is what the plan. For that, you have to organize and you have to control. How to organize? Organize means you have to always think in mind that the person will definitely make a mistake. So, you have to find out which one will make mistake and where we have to observe. इसको कैसे देखना है? In certain points, that is the actually experience of a person. The teachers who make group tuition, they immediately say, you tell, because they know in their mind this mistake only this person can do. So like this, you have to also organize and control. These methodology must come. That safety management system you have to adopt. Otherwise, only you are doing routine job. Induction करना है, pep talk बोलना है. I have asked people, they बोलो क्या बोलना है? Now they tell, your life is very precious. Your family is waiting for you. अरे वो इसको मालूम है बार बार every day if you listen same thing, he will say when he will complete his speech. So that is not. Yeah, every day if you speak the same thing, it is not going to help you. It will make you harass. Unnecessary 5 minutes अभी कौन सुनेगा? So this morning pep talk etc. you should make it lively and it should be communicable to people. You have to make different methodology, mode of representing the same thing. Otherwise, एक चीज बार-बार बोलना, instead of you talk, a cassette can stop. So that is not good. But what is the formality that you are doing is not. We are speaking because people must accept. Be assured when people is not accepting, it is better not to speak. I should stop my speech when I find that you are doing something else, because you have given quite enough indication to me that your speech is now meaningless. As a responsible speaker, I must understand it. So this is the way you have to develop. Otherwise, I am doing this is meaningless. Okay, next. What is plan for safety? Plan for safety is sharpen the axe. There was a wood cutting industry. In that wood cutting industry, there was a wood cutter. His job is to cut wood, cut a tree, then cut wood like this. So 5 साल का बाद that organization grew, बड़ा हुआ, so they engaged another wood cutter. After 2 years, the second wood cutter, who is younger than the first, was given a promotion. क्या होगा इसमें? प्रॉब्लम क्या है? हाँ, Okay, that is there. I am coming to that little later. So the problem will be the expense or the older one who has put on more years of service. He was annoyed. He told, I am senior. I was overlooked. I was ignored by the management. The management doesn't bother for my experience. So he went to the MD. MD asked, I don't know. Being a managing director, my job is to see who is cutting more trees. Now 5 साल का junior आपका, he is cutting more trees than you. So I have given promotion to him. Then he started giving more blow and put up more hours of work. Still there is a marginal increase, but not that. He again went to the MD and asked, so what is the problem? The MD told that I cannot say what is your problem. You better go to your younger colleague and ask him. So the older fellow thought, I am a senior one, how can I go to a junior person and ask advice? But he went. Then the younger one asked the older one, when did you last sharpen your axe? Then he told, after cutting one tree, I sit for some time and sharpen my axe. So my axe is now ready to cut trees. So what is required is, each and every time, instead of going for a stereotype system, that this is to be done, induction, a pep talk, a toolbox talk, the word speaks better, but the content should be equally good. Similarly, you have to sharpen means you have to make people feel like listening to you, and you have to identify the new and innovative methods by which you can plan for safety. So one of the small things that I am coming, one is use of PP, number 2 is develop and implement operating procedures, provide warning devices, incorporate safety devices, design for minimum risk. आपनको भितर कौन any contracting agency who allow their workers inside the factory without PP. I repeat, any one contracting agency who allow your worker to enter inside this factory without PP.
Or his workplace.
उसका वर्क प्लेस को आप अलाउ करते हैं विदाउट पीपी. कहीं करूँ ना दे. Anybody is doing safe hold? No. Or yes? There is doubt.
Nobody is allowing their people to go without helmets and shoes.
No.
Surprise.
You don't allow. Why? Why you don't allow?
You are working, why you don't allow them?
Why you don't allow your workers to go?
The last one, they can speak something. L&T?
Sir, actually, so before coming to site, it is also a commitment to the client also that we have agreed that we will implement 100% PPEs for the worker, even employee.
Why you will ensure 100% the use of PP?
Because there is the to prevent accident, there is a different type of steps through which we can prevent, like substitution, elimination.
ठीक है, सुनिए. So the
PPE is also another part.
So the point is, you don't allow anybody without a helmet because something is going to fall on his head. But have you ever tried that we will allow such a working environment in our work site where nothing will fall from height?
Safety rules and regulations.
No. Where there is a safety rule, use PP.
You show that rule, you show.
No. Is there any rule where PP are mandatory?
Safe condition is mandatory, right?
You see, Rule 62H, Rule 62H
Safety
of
rules.
Odisha factory rules, it says involved in the work to be performed by the workers. Order the occupier or manager in writing to supply to such workers personal protective equipment as may be found necessary. It means if the inspector of factories during his inspections find that this work is unsafe, then he will give an instruction in writing to the occupier and manager of the factory to provide such type of personal protective equipment. So it is not a mandatory that you are required to provide helmet to each worker. You are providing because you have failed to ensure that anything is not going to fall on somebody's head. Because you have failed to ensure that, and you give guarantee that anything can fall on head of anybody within your work premises, that's why you are asking person that you go with helmet. Am I correct? Pura question.
If you are allowing it to fall, why we cannot make the things like that, that all hardwares, all loose items on platforms we keep in tray. Any tool, any spanner we are giving for use, those can be tightened by cotton tape, so that even if it slips from hand, it doesn't fall below.
So
Why we cannot do for that, as we are using all in transformer selection, L&T might tell, or whosoever is working for electrical transformers. We do not use even a single item, single spanner without tightening with cotton tape. So why we cannot adopt the same thing for every
So
place?
the best practices for all the contracting agency is to make a survey in their work field or workstation to see that loose objects are not placed at height, and the possibilities of falling any object from height you try to rule out first. That is the first grade of elimination of a hazard. Then to use a helmet. Even experience says, even people have used helmet, but things have fallen on the helmet and still entered inside and people have died. So merely helmet alone cannot save the life of a person. The best thing is, instead of giving helmet to 100 heads, please make one bolt away from the work site, from the top, which is more important than the other. Okay. So, but when the site in charge of a particular section or particular area close its duty hours, आज का काम बंद हो गया, उसका पहले 5 मिनट you will ask the people, you make a survey of your workstation and find out is there any loose object at the top and there is chance of fall. If such a system is put into practice, it will definitely improve the system. That thing can be practiced. Am I correct or not? So what I am trying to put you into practice is, there are certain small things. If you put it into practice, then definitely it will go a long way. Instead of you are only insisting helmet because it is visible to you. A bolt is not visible to you. So acting on a visible thing is gets no merit. उसमें आपका competency का कुछ नहीं है. You see somebody not using helmet, to point out that mistake is very easy. But
another part, sir. Practice has developed that weekly we will remove the scrap.
That is also good.
Why? Every day evening, whosoever works, because I went to China, what peculiar thing I saw, whosoever is generating the scrap, removing that very day from that workplace, and he is putting in a bin, and from bin that regular cleaners they will take it. It was so surprised that whosoever he gets up afterwards, first of all he collects it, puts in bin, then he picks up his toolbox, and he goes up. It was really fantastic. So if we do that, because that is also a loose objective, these bits of electrode we are leaving there. Have anybody seen? If you go in a boiler, you will find, or you see the pipeline and all, or vessel with where we are working. You will find kilos and kilos of.
They are using small boxes.
So now that's what I'm saying. Every day, before we do, remove that box also, put in dustbin, vacuum, empty. So let us have that practice. Then only this can be what sir has told me. We can implement.
Okay. So what I want to say, what is the plan for safety? Now suppose a person is working at height. What do you mean by height work? Can anybody say what is height work? Slipping. It is more than 2.5 meter height from the ground level.
0 meter.
Eh?
0 meter.
It's 80 meter height. 70 meter
Eh?
height.
From 0 meters.
From 0 meter it is 20th floor. It is 200 meter, 200 feet or maybe 60 feet, 60 meters above the 0 meter. So while sleeping, does it require to put a safety belt? So your answer is wrong. Now, suppose somebody is digging a chimney and the chimney depth is 10 meter and the person is working at -2 meter level. Whether he is required to use safety belt? But he is below 2 meter. आपने above बोला था, मैं तो उसको नीचे भेजा. हैं?
He is also required to.
Yes, sir. Also required, sir.
Huh?
He should
He is
also
also
type
required, sir.
somewhere.
He is also required, sir.
Required. So the definition what you are talking is not correct. That is why you have to again go back to basic.
So may I speak on this?
Ah, sure.
Sir, you can say height, the worker height, the person is the endanger to be from what? You can say the
ठीक है, you are trying. ठीक है, very good. You are applying.